You don't need a waist trainer. You don't need to wake up at 4 a.m. You don't need a fat burner or a greens powder. You don't need to go on a 5-mile run. You don't need to track your macros for the rest of your life. You don't need to get 20,000 steps a day. Who am I to tell you all this, you ask? Don't make me do it. Don't make me do it. I'm gonna pull out my diploma. That's right. Dr. Liv. Welcome to my channel if you're new. Hi, my name is Liv, and if you're not new, welcome back to the cult. I'm glad that you made it on time for the meeting. Like I said, I do hold a doctorate in physical therapy, but honestly, I think more importantly, I've been a trainer for a really long time, both with women online and in person. And I understand this is the time of year where everybody's trying to sell you something to start your fitness journey. And after doing it for so long and working with so many people, I just want to let you know, you don't need 99% of the things that people are trying to tell you. Oh, even honestly, online coaching. But if you do want extra help, the link is in the description. So today, I just want to simplify everything for you that you actually need to do so that the hardest part for you is just remaining consistent. I came to the lecture prepared. I have notes, babe. Like I said, I've been doing this personally and professionally for a very long time. So I kind of know what does and doesn't work, what needs to and what needs to not happen. I've also been really, really shredded, a little bit fluffier, and then shred it again, and then like maintain. So I understand that people have different goals, they go through different phases in their life, but there are things that remain consistent throughout the entirety of your routine that you need, and you don't need to spend a bunch of money on them. First things first, we gotta get specific. What is it that you are trying to achieve? Are you trying to lose weight, gain weight? Is there a certain PR on a lift that you want to hit? Do you want to run a certain amount? Are you trying to rehab from an injury? Is it a range of motion goal, right? What is it that you are trying to achieve? And it can be multiple things. It could also be a long-term goal. And what you need to understand is there might be different phases. So for instance, if you're trying to do a bodybuilding show, right? That's your ultimate goal. You might need to cut, bulk, cut again. Right? So there are different phases to get to that end goal, but we just need to be specific about what is it that you were trying to achieve. And also, it can change as you're going through it, but it just helps to get you started. So even though I had stated that you don't need a trainer, you don't need online coaching, I think it can be helpful for education and to help you learn and figure out what's best for you. Because if we tie that in with your goals, for example, I'm really big on making sure that the goals are attainable and relevant to you. So I could have a goal, I want to be like a WNBA player. Okay, that's going to be a little bit difficult because I'm 5'1". On a good day, if I stand up really tall. But if I break that down, or if I'm working with someone that helps me break down what are the aspects that you admire about said person, right? I really enjoy how high they can jump, right? How fast they are, their endurance, the toned look, right? Okay, how can I apply that to me? Because what I find is that a lot of people have these goals that are very general. They might not be specific to them. They don't understand the process that it takes, and then they get disappointed and then they get discouraged. So that's where I feel like online coaching or just coaching, personal training, whatever, could help. But I'm just gonna give you this information for free. Let's get into my favorite portion, the actual training. There's a lot of information on the internet for free. How do you think I learned how to turn on the camera? Okay, or how to work these mics, right? You can find everything that you need on the internet. Just don't use AI. Don't be that person, okay? The planet is literally on fire. But also, there's so much free information, but it's hard to tell what is actually applicable to you, because what works for me might not work for you. For instance, I work out 4 days a week for sure, and then I have like a fun optional, most of the time I do it, like a 5th day. And I have a split that works for me right now for my specific goals. You need to figure out what works for you for your specific goals. What can you stick to realistically? If your goal is to work out 6 days a week, but you've never really worked out or stuck to a plan in your life, it's probably not a great idea to go balls to the walls 6 days a week of training. You will want to never set foot in a gym again. Because if you're able to go to the gym with energy or even just enjoy it, have a good time, because that's also important too, to do things that you enjoy. It will make you more likely to actually go to the gym, but it will also make it more likely that you're gonna be there and work out with intention. I would rather you work out with intention 3 days a week than half-ass things 6-7 days a week. All right, babes, let's talk about cardio. And I wanted to sprinkle this in here because no matter what your goal is, even though that's what we just talked about, general statement, there are things that every human being needs to be doing that should be included in their plan no matter what. And that is weight training and cardio. And I'm giving you all these tips and tricks because I've made so many mistakes on my fitness journey and just in my professional life. But now I'm able to educate you because I've learned from it. And one of those things is you need to be including some sort of cardiovascular exercise into your routine. And it doesn't need to be sprinting or running if you don't like sprinting or running. It could be walking on the damn treadmill. It could be cycling. Those are the 2 modes of exercise that I enjoy. It could be playing basketball on a rec team or soccer once a week. It could be walking on the beach, walking your dog. It could be jumping rope, dancing, spinning around on your head. You need to get some sort of exercise that's gonna raise your heart rate for an extended period of time. That is gonna help you no matter what. You need to do a little bit of like a self-audit. I had to do one recently because I was grossly underestimating how sedentary I was. When we talk about nutrition and stuff, we'll talk about like macros. And usually when you do like an online macro calculator, they'll ask you like how active you are. And it'll be like moderate activity, light activity works out like 2 to 3 times a week, like, you know, super active or like sedentary. And a lot of people think that just because they go to the gym 5 days a week for an hour, that they're extremely active, but you're not accounting for the amount of time that you sit during the day and you don't move. And I know that I said at the beginning of the video, you don't need to get 20,000 steps a day, and you don't. But you need to be moving aside from just your scheduled 45 minutes to an hour and a half or however long you go to the gym for. I've been in the fitness game for a long time, but I used to be like, I don't need cardio. I get a good sweat and my heart rate goes up when I'm lifting and blah, blah, blah. But that's only for a short period of time. I didn't realize how much I was missing out on in terms of cardio until I went to a spin class just for like shits and gigs, and realized, oh wow, I am severely deconditioned. I can lift 250 pounds on my back, but I can't cycle for more than 15 minutes without feeling like I'm gonna throw up. And an easy way for me to just kind of get back in my cardio game is just doing like 15 to 20 minutes on the treadmill pre or post workout, most of the time post workout, setting aside a separate day for like cycling because that's just something that I enjoy. And like I said, just making sure that I'm a little bit more active and mobile throughout the day aside from my workouts. The time has come. Nutrition. This is the one that I kind of dread talking about the most because I think it's one of the most overcomplicated aspects of everybody's fitness routine, and it's the thing that people try to sell you on the most. And I want to talk about protein intake first. Obviously, protein is very important. Your muscles are made up of proteins. Your body is made up of proteins. However, I think people try to shove massive amounts of you need to eat this much protein and you need to eat 1 point blah 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 gram of protein per body weight down your throat. It becomes really overwhelming and super difficult to do without extra supplementation like protein powders that people try to sell you. You're gonna be okay if you don't hit 150 grams of protein every single day. And here is my advice: when you're just starting out, just make it super simple for yourself. Prioritize your protein. When you're making your breakfast, your lunch, your dinner, when you're even going out to eat, just prioritize protein first. If you're making your breakfast, throw in eggs. If you don't eat eggs, tofu, I don't know, turkey bacon, whatever it is. Make sure that you're prioritizing your protein and eat it first on your plate. Yeah, obviously, you can track your macros, and I do think it is helpful, like I said, if you have a really specific goal and you're doing that self-audit, because it helps put actual data and numbers in front of you and shows you this is what you're actually consuming on a daily basis and this is what you're actually burning. Because like I said, we underestimate how much we consume and we overestimate how active we are. So it's really good in the beginning just to get data. Once you've been doing it for a long time, and like I said, you kind of get into this routine and this lifestyle, because it is a lifestyle, you'll have a better idea of actually what it is that you need, how much you're consuming, and how much you're burning. But when you're just starting out, I always tell all my clients, don't freak out. Don't feel like you need to meal prep for 7 days of the week because that's kind of gross. Protein. Think protein whenever you're sitting down at a restaurant, whenever you're placing an order, whenever you're making any type of food, you go to a potluck because it's holiday season, whatever, protein. This leads me into supplementation, which is, ooh, boy, do I got beef with the industry on this one, because everybody, like I said, is trying to sell you protein powders, greens juices, de-bloating, detoxing, the thermogenic fat burners. Those ones really piss me off. The only supplement that I would recommend through and through, and I would gift someone with my own money, is creatine. It is the most studied supplement on the market, and it is not only beneficial for your actual muscles and your physical appearance, your cognition as well. Because when we talk supplements, let's talk about supplemental things that you can do for free. Sleeping. Make sure that you're getting enough sleep. You underestimate how important sleep is, especially when you're in your early 20s. Now that I'm over the 25 hump, I'm like, wow, if I don't get 8 hours, I bite ankles, okay? Supplementing with enough water, making sure that you're actually hydrated. Free. Sunlight. Making sure that you see the sun every once in a while. Get outside, walk your dog, walk your fish, I don't care. Look at the sun. These are things that you can't buy on TikTok Shop, but they are things that you can do for free that make a really big difference in your overall health and wellness journey. Making a change of any kind, especially trying to go on a health and fitness journey, is really difficult. Like I said, it is simple, but it's not easy. And it's not easy because it's really hard to do things that you don't always want to do when you're not motivated to do them. And motivation is very much so fleeting. So something that I've been working on pretty much my whole life, but especially in my late 20s, like serious adulthood, grown woman era, is keeping the promises that I've made to myself. If I say that I'm gonna blow out my hair, I blow out my hair, even if I really don't want to. If I say, for instance, I did this yesterday, I had a package that I did not want to return because I hate going to the post office, but I said I was gonna do it, so I did it. Working out is no different. Eating whole foods and making sure that you feel fulfilled is no different. Getting 8 to 9 hours of sleep a night is no different. These are promises that you're making for yourself. And the last thing I wanna leave you with is, I understand what this feels like because I'm also currently going through a change and starting over in my fitness journey. If you're going into this new year with new goals, and you have an idea of the person that you want to be, it is very challenging and it can feel very lonely, which is why I'm saying it could be very simple, but it's not easy. And it's not easy because there are going to be many a times, if not the majority of the time, days that you don't feel motivated, that you don't feel like going to the gym or eating that food, or you just want to sit on the couch and you don't want to walk around your house. But it is vital that you practice keeping promises that you made to yourself. And it starts out small because you need to build trust in yourself. For instance, yesterday I didn't want to go make a return at the post office because I hate driving and I hate going to the post office. But I knew that it was something that I had to do and I told myself I was going to do it, so I went and I did that. And then I built a little bit more trust within myself and I knew that I could handle it when the time comes again. And it is small practices like these that they build up. It builds momentum because you might not have the motivation, but you're gonna have the momentum. And that is what's going to carry you to that goal. And by the time that you reach that goal, more than likely, you're gonna have a whole nother goal that you wanna do that's even more challenging. But you proved to yourself that you could accomplish that first one and you kept those promises to yourself, and now you feel like you can do more because you can. But just so you know, making mistakes is part of the process. Asking for help is part of the process. That's how you learn. I hope this was helpful. I hope it was a little bit inspirational. We're nearing that end of the year where everybody's gonna try to convince you to do this new program or try this new workout or buy this supplement. Try to stick to the basics, build up on your foundation, and I promise it will work out for you. Let me know any little tips and tricks to get you motivated or hyped up to do a workout or something that you don't want to do down in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps me out. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.